So the Dodgers announced on Saturday that the organization will be retiring Fernando Valenzuela's number 34 jersey this summer during a 3-day Fernando Mania celebration. Now the weekend will start on Friday, August 11, which is when Valenzuela's number 34 will be unveiled at Dodger Stadium. Now to me, this is a great decision by the Dodgers right here. Fernando Valenzuela is on the Mount Rushmore of Dodger players. You know, he had an insane start to his rookie season in 1981 where he went 8-0, and each of those 8 starts were complete games. Not to mention, 5 out of those 8 starts were shutouts. Unheard of start on the mound by Fernando. Now he ended the 1981 season with a 13-7 record, and he led the league with 11 complete games, 180 Ks, and a 2.48 ERA. He won the Cy Young, MVP, and topped all things off by winning a World Series championship with the Dodgers over the Yankees. Then after his rookie season of 81, he proceeded to have 5 more All-Star seasons in Dodger blue. He came in second in the Cy Young voting in 1986 to the Houston Astros' Mike Scott. And again, 1986 was also Fernando Valenzuela's last All-Star appearance. Now despite, Valenzuela becoming basically a journeyman after 1986, as his career numbers never accumulated to Hall of Fame status, I'm still okay with the Dodgers retiring his number here. To me, I look at Valenzuela the same way I look at the Detroit Tigers' Willie Horton, number 23. The Tigers retired Willie Horton's number back in the year 2000, not because of his career numbers he had with the team or just in his overall career, but it was because of the immense impact he had on the Tiger fans, particularly with the black community in Detroit. Now, the Tigers understood how impactful Willie Horton was off the field just as much as he was on the field. He was out on the streets during the hard times of the 1960s, during the riot in 67 and parts of 68. He was out there. He was an active member of the community. And that was the main reason why the Tigers retired his number 23. That's exactly why the Dodgers are doing this right here, retiring Valenzuela's number 34. Fernando Valenzuela had an immense impact on the Latin community in Southern California, and they understood how much he means to a vast majority of their fan base, which is why I love the fact that they don't care that he has this really polished career. He had a really, really good career for a short amount of time, and again, it truly was mania out in Southern California, and he is more than deserving of getting his number retired in Dodger blue. Now next, the Mets rehired Carlos Beltran, their sort of former manager, if you remember. The team hired Carlos Beltran as a special assistant to the GM Billy Epler. Now I think this is an interesting move. I think this move means a possible return to the dugout for Carlos Beltran, but not this season. That's how I see this move ultimately playing out here. They want him to be a part of their organization in some capacity. It's been a couple years since the whole scandal thing, and I think they're just trying to let Carlos dip his toe into the waters of the New York Mets organization, and when they feel he's ready, he'll take a deep dive and maybe go in the dugout for a season or two and see how he does on the field with the Mets. But again, right here, I like the move by Billy Epler in hiring Carlos Beltran. Topic number 3, Carlos Correa has copped out of the World Baseball Classic. Now, he does have a legitimate excuse, as his wife, Daniela Correa, is expecting the birth of their second child, a son, who is to be named Kenzu. Now, she is due on March the 11th, which is when Team Puerto Rico is scheduled to play for Pool D. They're playing in Pool D from March 11th to the 15th. So, I think it's a good decision for, Carlos Correa right here to spend the time with his family, and also just think about it from a pure baseball perspective. They made the point in the article that if he goes to spring training and he's trying to get ready, then he gets ramped up to go play meaningful games in the WBC. Let's say plays 2 games there, and then he gets the call from the wife. He has to go out, leave the tournament, go back home. That takes probably almost a week. He has to come back, revamp up, and possibly run the risk of injury. Now, they said him copping out of the World Baseball Classic has nothing to do with the injury concerns that surrounded him during his free agency, which is a good thing. So again, this is just for personal matters, as his wife is expecting a child, which is good for him, good for his family. Now finally, it looks like Fernando Tatís Jr. is back, and with no backlash. Yeah, apparently he's just been magically forgiven by the entire baseball industry. He's back. Fernando's back. He's back in the good graces of Robert D. Manfred. I say this because the Padres have been actively posting Fernando Tatís Jr., whether it's photos, videos on Instagram, Twitter. They've been posting Fernando Tatís Jr. with his teammates, including Manny Machado and Xander Bogaerts, the guy who's taking his former job at shortstop. They were photographed and videoed at the San Diego Padres minicamp that they held this past week. Apparently, everything's, all normal. Everything's cool. Fernando's back, man. Yeah, good guy. I say this sarcastically because I got a problem with it. Again, they're acting like he's coming back from an injury. He is, but he's coming back from a suspension for using PEDs that's been banned by the league. And it looks like the league is encouraging the publication of Fernando Tatís Jr. still during a time period where he's officially suspended. He's going to miss the first 20 games of the season, and they're acting like he's going to be back on opening day. To me, I just think this is a bad look from MLB. I do think it's coming from the tippy top of the commissioner's office. I do think, they want to continue to push their popular players like Tatís, like Baez, like Trout, like Ohtani, despite whatever rules they may break, and still be serving a punishment for. To me, it's a double standard. And it's double standard in the respect of another guy who was a fan favorite. You can't deny it. A lot of people loved him. And of course, I'm talking about Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer, again, got suspended for allegedly engaging in inappropriate adult behavior with a woman in California and Ohio. That whole thing, we know the story. The case went through. He was suspended on administrative leave. The case took the whole summer. Found out the two chicks were lying. Turned out to be not guilty. And still, at the end of the day, after the verdict came out that Trevor Bauer was innocent, the Dodgers, what did they do? They released him. They released him after they've been paying him for months and months on maternity leave, or administrative leave, excuse me. All of a sudden, the verdict came out, he's innocent, and they suspend him. So, I'm confused. Baseball doesn't want to back up a guy in Trevor Bauer who was found innocent of all charges. They want to bash him still after the verdict, and they're gonna be okay with the Dodgers releasing him, not following through with the contract they agreed to, and they're cool with the Dodgers saying sayonara to Trevor Bauer, not posting about him, not talking about him, not giving updates on his status of free agency. But Tatís, on the other hand, who's been suspended for PEDs, is now being basically welcomed back into the good graces of MLB and being promoted everywhere. Fernando Tatís Jr. broke your rules, plain as day. Yes, Trevor Bauer was accused of breaking your rules, but he was found innocent of breaking those rules, but you still blackball him. Why are they posting about him? He's still on suspension. This is not he's returning from an injury. He's not on rehab assignment. He's still serving a suspension handed down by MLB. At minimum, don't post about him until he comes back. I don't get it. I don't. There's obviously a bias, and MLB has it out for Trevor Bauer. It's a shame. It's a double standard. So that's all I got. Like, comment, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts, and I'll catch you guys later.